Well, hey guys, welcome to Moving to Dallas. This is the show where if you're moving to Dallas, maybe you're just making your next move in Dallas. We come to you, we talk about neighborhoods, we talk about all things Dallas so we can make your move a smooth one. Today we're talking about two of the best neighborhoods in Dallas. We're talking about Mustang Lakes in Celina, Texas, and we're also talking about Hollyhock in Frisco, Texas. So stay tuned. We're going to get right into it after this. Hey, welcome back to Moving to Dallas. We're your host. I am Brian White, and this is my lovely bride, Tisha.
Well, thank you, Brian.
Okay,
It is always a pleasure being here, educating everyone on the awesome, amazing area of Dallas, Texas. What a blessing it is to live in this area. And today we are reviewing two awesome neighborhoods. I mean, the list goes on in Dallas, but today we picked two awesome neighborhoods to review today.
Yeah, there are two. I mean, there really are so many crazy neighborhoods. It can be kind of hard to figure out. And you could drive for days. You're like, okay, this one's cool. This one's cool. Okay, which one was this? So we're going to help you out. We're talking about two of the best in Dallas. We're talking about Mustang Lakes in Celina, Texas, and Hollyhock in Frisco. And it's I'll show it up here in a second. It is Hollyhock, because that is not how I would think that's spelled, but it's a little off. So
that's smart to show that.
So I had to type it in to make sure you knew what it was we were talking about. But as we get started, so if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button. We come to you each and every week with some great info. We're going to educate you guys on the stuff that you need to know if you're moving to Dallas. So hit that and hit like while you're at it, because you're going to like the show. You're going to like the show. So as we get started, it's Thanksgiving season. And
gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. And
gobble,
in Thanksgiving season, there are important things that you have to decide. And one of those is, what's your favorite pie?
Oh, man.
These are important things.
This is a really important question. And it's a difficult one to answer for me personally, because I'm a seasonal pie girl.
Oh.
Okay. I'm a seasonal pie girl. In the summer, I'm a key lime pie. All the way, key lime pie, cool and refreshing.
We just had such a good key lime pie last week in Las Vegas.
Oh, it was amazing.
Whoa.
So, but in the winter and during Thanksgiving season, I'm pretty much a pecan pie girl. I mean, a good pecan pie. Speaking of good pecan pie, there's a company called The Good Company. If you ever get a pie from there, it comes in a wooden box. Yeah. It is by far the best pie I've ever had, pecan pie. So I'm going with pecan pie for my best Thanksgiving pie.
We're going to need to create an affiliate link for that, so you guys can order those directly from us, because a little sponsorship, sponsored post, not really. So yeah. You know what? I love a good apple pie. An apple a la mode that feels like a year-round thing. Not really so much a pumpkin person. But would love to know in the comments, really the whole point of all of this. I'd love to know in the comments what your favorite pie is. Thank you guys, by the way, for joining us. We don't care where you're coming from. So maybe you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook. Maybe you're checking us out on LinkedIn. Regardless, right now we're going to get into the goods. We are talking about Mustang Lakes in Celina, Texas, versus Hollyhock in Frisco, Texas. So we're going to go first. We're going to talk about Mustang Lakes in Celina. So Tisha, where the heck is that?
Okay, well, don't ask me that question. I'm terrible to answer where something is. You answer that question.
That is not your best event.
That's not my best event.
Not your best event. So Celina is in the northernmost reaches of Dallas. Honestly, it's still kind of it's really the farthest north suburb that's getting built. Now, what's interesting is it is the fastest growing suburb. It is absolutely, it's where most of the new construction is happening. It is absolutely exploding. So it was Prosper, and Prosper is still exploding. But Celina is just north of Prosper. It's kind of, really, if you think about it, it's a suburb of Prosper. It's a suburb of really of Frisco and McKinney. So it's just west of McKinney and north of Frisco and Prosper. So it's kind of far out there, but it's a cool little bedroom community with amenities all the way around it. If you're going to go to the closest city, then that's probably going to be McKinney, where they've got good shopping, great restaurants, and all of that.
Yeah, McKinney has all the things you'd ever need. And we highlight Frisco a lot on this channel. Frisco, all the shopping, all the restaurants, all the good stuff. You don't even need to come down to Dallas if you live in Celina. You have plenty to do up north. So that's what makes it so fast growing. Well, and in Texas, of course, we like to do things bigger and better and badder. And
No
so
doubt.
that's kind of how they made Mustang Lakes, right? I mean,
Whoa.
Okay, this neighborhood is amazing. There's so much in this neighborhood, including it's about 700 acres of land.
That is a big honking chunk of land. And it's super spread out. It's beautiful. It's got just such amazing amenities. When you think about Mustang Lakes, I mean, it's built around the lakes, and they had a lot of land to work with when they got started, because they really did. Mustang Lakes was one of the first, maybe the first neighborhood in Celina. It's what put Celina on the map, and it is gorgeous. What they've done with the property is fantastic.
Yeah, so they really are known for amenities. Like I said, bigger, badder, better. So what they are doing is they have, they have a ranch out there.
Yeah.
They have I got to read my notes on this. The largest.
There's so much going on. We got to check it out and read.
Seriously, like the largest amenity center in North Texas. It's 6,700 square feet amenity center.
Yeah, it's totally like having a country club in your backyard. So right there in the neighborhood, because they've got tennis courts and they've got sport courts. They've got
a junior Olympic pool.
Right. So I mean, it really has all the things that you need. They've got a 5-acre pond that is fully stocked. So I don't know how many country clubs have a stocked pond. Maybe. As a country, as an out in the country, so you got a little bit of both. But man, they're just such great. I think there's 20 acres set aside for parks as well. So just some beautiful amenities and a lot to enjoy. For growing families to get out there and just be able to spread out and enjoy the space.
And these are the kind of places people are looking for right now. Places where you could really enjoy your community, where you could get outside, where you could walk your dog and, enjoy your neighbors and just walk over to amenities and then just enjoy where you are so much. And that's really what they have in mind when they put together these amazing neighborhoods. And so definitely something that you want to see out there. They also, if we think about like when they put in these neighborhoods, one of the things that really makes them grow, and something we always talk about, is school districts.
Yeah. So, Mustang Lakes is in Prosper Independent School District. And Prosper is one of the top districts. Prosper ISD is one of the top school districts in Texas. Before we dive too far into that, we always want to say, insert disclaimer here. You should do your own research. We get our research from niche.com. It's a great source. You can also go to greatschools.org. We'll include links to both of those sites in the description so you could do your own research. But Prosper ISD, it's the number 11 school district in Texas. Texas is a big state.
In all of Texas.
Not just
Texas. North Texas.
Yep.
All of Texas.
Yeah, so the number 11 district in the state. What's even better than that, though, is in terms of for athletes, it's the number 5 district. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in all of Texas. So if you've got a student athlete, then Prosper ISD and Mustang Lakes and Celina is going to be a great person for your kid.
I love that.
Great place,
I absolutely
not person,
love
great
that.
place for your kid.
Yeah, you can definitely see why they built Mustang Lakes with the idea that if you build it, people will come, and they sure have all those amenities, amazing school district. If you're looking for it, they got it. They even have they're a large community, so they have an HOA there.
Yep.
And that HOA, a lot of places, if you're outside of Texas, maybe you haven't heard of an HOA, that's a homeowners association. And what it does is it's a monthly fee that you're paying, and they care for your front yards there. They care for all the amenities in the neighborhood to make sure that the upkeep of these neighborhoods stays really high. That holds your value really well in these neighborhoods that have HOAs. So between the school districts, all the amenities, the HOA, you're moving into a neighborhood that's going to hold its value well for the long term.
Yeah, HOAs are one of those things that a lot of times people are concerned because they are a little restrictive.
Yeah.
Right. They restrict in terms of that you can't paint your house purple. Right. Maybe you can't build the tree house in your backyard or something huge. But they do that to make sure that the yards are maintained, that the homes look consistent. And like Tisha said, they really do protect your home value. So we see master plan communities like Mustang Lakes, their values going up because homes, they look consistent, they look terrific, and they've got to be well maintained. So it really is a benefit to you. And like in Mustang Lakes, part of the HOA is they maintain your yard. So
yay!
Yeah, they're mowing the front yard and taking care of things for you. So it really is lower maintenance.
Honestly, we live in a neighborhood that's a master plan community with an HOA that mows our front yard. We haven't owned a lawnmower in 14 years.
Do you hear the angels? I hear the angels singing when I hear that. So we don't.
You know what? That gives us more time to help you move to Dallas. That's right.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so yeah.
So let's talk about the builders. So there are some great builders in Mustang Lakes, and what's unique about this neighborhood. So a lot of times, master plan communities, you got small lots. And
right now they're starting like at 40-foot wide lots and kind of 50-foot, 60-foot, 70. They kind of progress up.
That's a growing trend for more density and squeezing more lots in a smaller space. Well, since Mustang Lake started kind of ahead of the curve and started out in Celina, where it was a little bit farther out when it started, they were able to get larger lots. So lots range all the way up to more than an acre in Mustang Lakes, and to some fully custom homes.
That's awesome.
So you get all of the benefit. Most of the time, you don't get fully custom. You don't get the large lots in master plan communities. So Mustang Lakes really has kind of the best of all worlds, where you get that fully custom and the neighborhood amenities.
Man, Brian, you make that neighborhood sound so good. I kind of want to go there. I want to go everywhere where there's a shiny new house.
So tell me about some of the builders in Mustang Lakes.
They have selected, some of the top builders in the DFW area. And it's another thing that's made this neighborhood great. You know that you're going to be working with awesome builders, including some of our favorites, Perry Homes, which we absolutely love the quality finish out of their homes, the open concept floor plans. We always, always, always love Highland Homes. Highland Homes, one of the top builders here in the DFW area. We've had Highland Homes. They stand behind the homes. Yeah. Awesome builder.
And they're great from a volume perspective and quality. So they're one of the top 2 or 3 builders in North Texas. From a volume perspective, but like Tisha said, they really do stand behind their quality. They've got a lot of upgrades, lots of details in their homes, and some great floor plans.
Yeah, you have a lot of other builders like David Weekley Homes, Coventry Homes that you see in a lot of the master plan communities. And then, like Brian said, you're going to have some custom builders there. So
David R. Williams is a custom builder that builds a lot in that North Prosper Celina area, as well as Sharif Munir. So just some great fully custom options as well.
Yay, such a beautiful neighborhood. But we must move on to the next neighborhood.
You mean Mustang Lakes is not the only great neighborhood in Dallas?
No, it's not. In fact, Hollyhock in Frisco, Texas is an awesome neighborhood, and it is also growing so fast out there in Frisco. We love Frisco. We talk about Frisco all the time. Frisco is a beautiful city with a ton to do. So Hollyhock, why don't you tell us where that is, Brian?
So Hollyhock it's on the really the northernmost section of Frisco. Kind of it bumps up right up on the south end of 380. Of Highway 380 on the north side of Dallas. And 380 is kind of the dividing line between Frisco and Prosper. When you get to the north side of 380, then you're in Prosper. So the great thing about Hollyhock, because it does have great access to 380, then it's really easy to get to Frisco, McKinney, which is just east, or you can head west to Denton. Right, that 380 goes down that corridor. And then it's right close to the North Dallas Tollway, which gives you ready access to downtown Dallas. If you're working in downtown, then you can get down there. Anymore, there are so many businesses moving into Frisco as kind of a business center that you may not even have to. The big hitter thing about
Big hitter thing
about where Hollyhock is is it's next to the PGA headquarters.
I knew this was coming.
Totally
I was
coming.
waiting for this.
You got to talk about this. I mean, the PGA. The PGA headquarters is moving to Dallas. It's moving to Frisco, Texas, and that's the Professional Golfers Association of America. So Dallas is becoming the pro golf mecca. Frisco has already become. They call it Sports City USA. Right, there are 8 different professional sports teams that are headquartered or have operations in Frisco, and adding the PGA is just kind of like the crown jewel.
Icing on the cake?
It's icing on the cake. That's exactly right. So the PGA, not only is the headquarters there, but they're putting in 45 holes of golf right next to Hollyhock. Yeah, like Hollyhock, a portion of Hollyhock backs up to the golf course. So there's 2 18-hole golf courses and then a 9-hole executive course. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really great.
So if you find yourself dreaming about playing more golf close by, Hollyhock may be a really great option for you.
We find that a lot of people have, particularly lately, have reached out to us that are golfers. Right, we've got people moving in we had folks move in from Indiana. We've got folks moving in from California that for whatever reason want to move, maybe because the PGA, want to move here for golf. And if that's your game, then this is a great spot for you.
Well, how many months a year can you play golf here, Brian?
Pretty much year round. It gets, now in the summer, you got to play in the morning. It gets super hot. Right?
Yeah.
We're well into the hundreds in the summer. So you do want to play in the morning, but in the winter, most of the time, it gets down to the 30s maybe, but most of the time in the winter, it's in the 40s and 50s. So put on a sweater or a little windbreaker, and then you can get out there and play year round. So really is our weather is really temperate in the winter.
Okay, so Hollyhock. Okay, so we know it's close to golf, and Brian's excited about that.
have we mentioned the PGA headquarters?
Okay, so let's talk about some other amenities that it has. So what's really going to be different about Hollyhock versus Mustang Lakes that we just talked about was really Hollyhock is a smaller master plan community. So it's only about 400 acres, and there's going to be, let's see, how many homes built over
just under 700.
Yeah, just under 700 homes built in that area. So going to be a smaller master plan community, also still an HOA neighborhood. So
and they're mowing the front yard. So again, angels singing.
Mowing the front yard, angels are singing. So, but yes, what other amenities do they have within that neighborhood?
They too have a beautiful amenity center. It's kind of the city, the center of the neighborhood, and really the design around these kinds of amenity centers. It's the gathering place for the neighborhood, right? So it's there's parks. I think there's 15 acres of parks set aside in Hollyhock as well, and these are places where if you want to get the kids out, if you want to go fly a kite, throw a frisbee, get the dogs out to run and play, then it's really a place to enjoy the outdoors because it is temperate. Here year round, then you can get out and enjoy the space. So there's also they've got the neighborhood pool and the whole setup based around that amenity.
They have a beautiful resort style pool there as well, and since it's a little smaller in size, it won't be quite as crowded, and they really make it so it's community oriented and get out and get to know your neighbors.
So let's talk about the schools. That's one of the highlights for Hollyhock. It is in Frisco ISD.
Frisco ISD. Yeah. Whoa. Now we just talked about Prosper ISD being the number 11th school district in all of Texas. Frisco ISD, get this, number 7
in all of Texas.
In all of Texas. Yeah. Frisco ISD. You can imagine why Frisco is growing so much with such an awesome school district and people really, fighting to get their kids in awesome school districts. And whether or not you have a child in school, it's always important to look at school districts to consider the value of your home in the long run. So Frisco ISD, number 7.
That's great advice. And like I said, we'll include the niche.com link so you can go check out and do your own research there. It's also Frisco ISD is the number 23 district for athletes as well. So again, if your kids are involved in sports, then another great district. One of the things I love about the way Frisco ISD approaches things is that they have established a bunch of different schools. So different districts have different strategies. Some districts have like all the schools funneling up to one high school, and that creates a really big high school. And Frisco ISD has taken the opposite approach, and they've built a lot of different high schools. So it creates a smaller environment. And it's kind of really one of the beauties of Frisco is, although it's a high population area, they've created so many different small pockets of high schools that it still has very much of a small town feel. And you're going to see that carry through in the school districts in Frisco.
Yeah. And so if that's important to you, Frisco is an awesome choice, and Hollyhock is an awesome choice for that. And they do one of the things that, again, we learned on niche.com, which is where you would find your information, or greatschools.org, is they have like a 1 to 15 student teacher ratio out there on average. So
check that out. If you look at the numbers across the country, 1 to 15 is going to be like top of the charts.
Yeah. So if that's important to you, definitely do your research on those schools.
You know what? So Hollyhock has come to the end. They don't have a lot of places left to build. There are still several builders that are building, and they've got a little bit more of, they've got a mix, but there are some builders in there building a little bit more of a modern style home, which is pretty exciting. We've long seen these traditional style homes, so it's for us who sees a lot of homes, right? It's exciting to see some different styles and some different plans.
Mm-hmm. In Texas, in general, the style of our homes tend to be brick facade houses. Mm-hmm. Brick and stone. That's typically what you see a little bit more on the traditional side. But Hollyhock is branching out a little bit, and that they have like MI Homes, which is building a very modern, contemporary home that's just awesome. So they definitely
Tradition Homes is another one, similar from a style perspective, a little more contemporary look and feel to the homes.
And since it's kind of coming to a close out there, you don't have nearly as many options. But Landon Homes is building out there, and they're building great homes around the DFW area as well, with beautiful floor plans. So
and it's interesting what you're seeing in Hollyhock is they're smaller volume builders. So they build quite a few homes, and they build a high quality home, but they're maybe not as high volume. So you might get a little bit more attention during the build process, which can be great too.
Yeah. So we love Hollyhock in Frisco. Let's see, we have covered the builders, we have covered the amenities, we have covered the schools, we've covered the HOA.
Goodness, we've really talked about all of the reasons why Hollyhock in Frisco, Texas, and Mustang Lakes in Celina, Texas, are two of the best neighborhoods in Dallas. You know what? If maybe you're thinking about a move, maybe you're thinking about moving to Texas, or just making your next move in Dallas, then either way, we'd love to have a conversation with you. So there will be a link in the description and in the comments below. So if you want to hit that, we'll schedule a free time for us to get together. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.